Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me today. I just fancied going live today, and I thought I did give you a little bit of notice, so I hope some of you can join me. I'm going to use this. I got this yesterday. It's a primer with vitamin C in it, and I thought I can't get enough of glow. Hello there, Rebecca. Hello. And I just wanted to catch up with you all because I had a bit of bad news yesterday, as you know, but I'll wait for you all to come. Well, Rebecca knows anyway. I'll wait for you all to come on. So I wanted to join my alley pallies and cheer myself up. This is I saw a friend of mine using this. She does a body shop at home, and I thought, oh, that looks good. Hello, Bushra. So yeah, I went to Foot Health yesterday, and my ulcer is back. Hello, Helena. You remember that ulcer that took a year to heal? It's back. And I'm so annoyed. But I'll wait for you all to come on and I'll tell you why I'm annoyed. So I'm just putting this Body Shop. It's got a little bit of silicone in it. A bit of smoothing silicone, but it feels not quite nice and it smells of oranges. What is it? A whole year. Yeah. Hello, Terry. It's been a year since I moved in. Hello, Rachel. So I'm just thought, I'm going to get ready with me and I'll tell you about my disappointing news. Thank you, Bushra. So yes, I've got another foot ulcer in exactly the same place. And I'll tell you, can I just have a little vent while I'm putting my makeup on? Let me have a little vent. Because in my view, this was avoidable. It was completely avoidable. And I haven't done anything wrong. I did everything in my power to avoid this ulcer coming back. But I've just moved to a new area. So I'm seeing a new team. And there was one particular person, obviously I'm not going to name names, that I saw on about 3 occasions that was one of those professionals that doesn't like patients telling him, hello Stacey, no, my foot ulcer's back. Doesn't like people telling him his job. Now the thing is that when you've lived with a disability like mine for 50 odd years, you know your body and you know what it does and what it needs. It's not about, I'm not trying to be, excuse me, but a smarty pants. I'm not trying to be a smarty pants. I'm not trying to prove that I know best. I don't care about any of that. I've been getting foot ulcers since I was 20 years of age. And no disrespect, but the guy that was seeing me for foot health probably wasn't even born when I had my first ulcer. Now he probably knows all there is to know about bunions and soft corns and everything else that I don't know about. And I'm not disputing that. But when it comes to ulcers on Ali M's foot, I am an expert. But I had to massage this guy's ego, right? And basically act dumb. And I kept saying, when I first went in, I kept saying, I need to be seen more regularly. Before I left London, I was going every week. It took a whole year to heal this ulcer. It is still very precarious. It's going to break down if I'm not really careful. And he just sat there in silence and at the end said, I'll see you in 6 weeks. And I went, 6 weeks? He went, oh yeah, you want to be seen sooner, don't you? Well, I don't think you need to be seen before 6 weeks. And I went, okay then. You know, I just gone through all that stuff with my dad and I just went, okay then. whatever you say. You're the expert, you know. I just... And then we had the lockdown. I'm just putting my foundation on. This is, oh, and this has run out of charge already. And I've only just unplugged it from the PowerPoint. And they haven't got back to me, by the way, Magnetone. They have not got back to me. Right, it's probably going to stop again, but I'm just going to keep going. So during the lockdown, obviously they stopped seeing people, which is fair enough. You know, COVID took over everything. Totally got that. But during the lockdown, I could feel this ulcer getting bad. Really bad. And the thing is that I've got barely any sensation in my feet. So when I feel pain, when I start feeling intense pain in the centre of my foot, I know it's bad. Because normally I don't feel a thing. I can tread on glass. And I've done it before and not felt a thing until I've seen the blood on the floor. So when I can feel pain in the foot, I know something is wrong. Really wrong. So I rang up and I said, I need to be seen. There is extravasation on the bottom of my foot. I thought, I'm not going to mince my words. I know what extravasation means. Oh no, that's when they... Sorry, that is the wrong word. But when there's blood underneath. Yeah, I think it is called extravasation. I'm thinking that's what they do when they take all the hard skin off it, which might be extravasation. Anyway, I said, look, I know that there's blood under it and I need to be seen. And they wouldn't put me through to a podiatrist to speak to them. They said, is the skin broken? And I said, no, it's not broken. I said, in that case, you can't be seen. Right, so I then got onto my lymphedema nurse. Sorry, this is a long story, but I'm just telling you. And I said, I explained, because she's more sympathetic. So she emailed them and sent them a photo of my foot. And they didn't respond. So I went out and I got one of these foot files, you know, the electric ones or the battery operated ones. Now it says do not use if you've got neuropathy, which I have, i.e. lack of sensation. But I thought if I don't actually carefully use this and peel away some of the skin, I'm going to end up with an ulcer and I'm going to be in hospital. So I have to do something. So it's like, it's risky, but it's a better risk than just leaving it. So I just started paring it down every week myself with this machine, and I kept feeling it with my hand, kept feeling it. And when I was finally seen after the lockdown, the guy said to me, it was just about to break down, but you were very lucky. And I said to him, I wasn't lucky, that's me. I've done that because I have been managing it. I've been using this foot file, which you're not supposed to use, because I knew that it was going to be bad. Anyway, then he said, I'll see you in 5 weeks. And I went, 5 weeks? Now, this was a different guy, but he goes, yeah, 5 weeks should be fine. And I didn't feel like I could challenge him. 5 weeks comes yesterday, and it's broken down. It's an ulcer again. And I said to him, my other half was checking the bottom of my foot, and he said he wouldn't have seen it because the skin hadn't broken. It was broken down under the skin, which is what I was saying to them 6 months ago when they wouldn't see me. It's going to break under the skin. It's not going to break the skin. I still need to be seen. And nobody listened to me. So I'm annoyed because I am now back to square one, because basically patients are not supposed to tell clinicians what to do because they know better. Even though I'm a new patient and they've not known me, they have not been treating me for the last 2 years, they know better than me. And that's why I now have another ulcer. And I am furious and I'm frustrated and I'm sorry, but I wanted to come and share it. I didn't know whether to share it with you guys, but I talked to Rebecca last night and she said, share it with your Ali Pallies, because I just feel it was so avoidable and nobody listens to the patient. If you're a chiropodist or anyone that happens to just tune into this, please, I'm not trying to be a know-it-all. I don't care about knowing more than you. I'm not interested in proving that I know more than somebody that's been to college for 3 years. That's not what it's about. I'm not happy that I was right now, because the fact that I was right means that I'm in this mess again. And I am now walking around on a bandage with my feet up. I can't cook. I can't have a bath. I can't do anything because I'm not allowed to get it wet. I have to have strip washes. And I'm going to have to do that possibly for another year because nobody listened to me. Right? And that's all I care about. I'm not trying to prove that I know more than anyone else, but I do know more about my body, and I claim my body and the knowledge I have about my body. And I just needed to say that to people that I know would get my frustration, because you were all there with me in that year, coming up to me moving in that air cast, and we got on top of it, and I moved and it was a fresh start. And this was totally avoidable, totally avoidable. But they know better. See you in 5 weeks. They're not now. I know that they would say the NHS are saving resources, right? They couldn't afford to see you more than 5 weeks. Well, guess what? Now they've got to see me every week on a weekly basis until it heals. So it's not saved them any money at all. It's not saved them a penny. And if it gets infected, I'll have to go into hospital and be put on IV antibiotics, which will cost them £1,000 a night. So how's that saved them any money? It's this short-term attitude of, we need to save money. We can't see you more than once every 5 weeks. You look fine to us because you're smiling and happy and you're not walking in and going, oh, I'm in pain. No, I don't do that. That doesn't mean I'm not in pain. Anyway, I'm just going to answer. Sorry, I'm ranting. You fight with doctors and nurses all the time for the appropriate care of your mother, and you shouldn't have to fight with them. They should listen. Yeah, and doctors mess up because of lack of being an idiot. So I'm back to square one with an ulcer. And Mickey's cooking for me, which is quite nice. But, you know, I'm not allowed to stand for long periods of time. And yet if I sit for long periods of time, I get backache. I can't have a bath. I'm back to square one. And he said, make sure you rest this week, because if you don't, you'll be back in the air cast. As though I'm doing something wrong, when I've been telling them for months, please, please see me more regularly. I know there's a COVID outbreak, but this is going to break down. But is the skin broken? No, it's not. Then you're fine. No, I'm not. Because it was breaking down under my skin. And I knew it. Sorry, I'll shut up now. I'm going to put some makeup on because it calms me down. And I'm not going to put this on because this doesn't calm me down. This just winds me up even more. Hello, Shahina. You're so lucky you just missed my rant. And then I got my microdermabrasion machine, which came with a European plug. And Magnetone haven't bothered to respond to me. So I will say to you all, do not buy a Magnetone, because there is a very good chance that you're going to get a faulty device that doesn't light up. And when you do and you contact customer care, they ignore you, because I sent that email a week ago and they have totally ignored it. They have not got back to me, and they've even sent me an email asking me to review it on their website. So do not buy a Magnetone. It's not worth it. And I'm not saying that out of spite because they've ignored me. I'm saying it because I got 3 devices and this one works, but the light doesn't ever come on and it's temperamental. And I contacted Magnetone with my review and asked them, gave them the right to reply, and they haven't even bothered answering it. So just don't do it. And neither have the company yet. I've only given them a day, so I'm being fair. But the company that sent me a device with a European plug. I will say, in terms of customer services, I don't know about the device, but PMD, who also make a microdermabrasion device, and are shortly going to bring out a cordless one, which is what I wanted in the UK. They've bought it out in America. They're very good. They actually answered me on Facebook, on Instagram, and on YouTube. So in terms of their customer services, I can't tell you about their device, but their customer services for PMD Beauty is very good. So if you're going to get a machine and you want to know that you've got a responsive customer service, then go to PMD Beauty, because there's no good having a really good product if something goes wrong and nobody actually answers you in customer care. It could be the best product in the world, but there's bound to be faults on some products and it's no good. I'm just going to put a bit of Bye Bye Under Eye on. But you know, I said it's all good because I can take out my frustration about my foot ulcer on people that deserve it, i.e. bad customer service. So it's always good to have someone that you can quite legitimately take out your frustrations on, because I can't take it out on my foot. Hello everyone. So you've learnt my lesson with electric toothbrushes. Have you had really bad electric toothbrushes? We now keep the EU and the rest of the world adapters at home. Yeah, I just think I will get an adapter. It's not the end of the world, but this is a UK company that I bought it from called Current Body. I will name and shame them. Current Body, they're based, they said they've got a shop in London. So why are they selling devices that have got European plugs? I mean, I wouldn't, if I bought it from a company in the States or in Belgium, then I'd get it. I think, well, you know, you did get an international delivery from Belgium, so well, what did you expect? But this company says it's got a shop in London and it's based in England. So why would they sell a device with a European plug? Would it not be right to assume that it's going to come with a UK plug? And yes, the company that makes the device, which is called Silken, who I've also contacted and hasn't replied yet, also do a UK adapter for £9. But again, why should I buy it when there was nothing on the information to say, please note that this does not come with a UK adapter? And glowing reviews from people in the UK with no mention that there is not a UK plug in the device. I had 10 years of going to different GPs saying there was something wrong with my back and was fobbed off time again until I ended up in hospital with the worst ruptured disc. The spinal surgeon said, "Oh my God." I'm so sorry about that, Lisa. And like you say, I'm sure you weren't happy about being right, because you're the one that's going to suffer. I had a brilliant GP in London. Thank you, Terry. I had a brilliant GP in London and I really had a good relationship with him because he'd listen. first of all. And then he'd give me his medical opinion, which I respected. Didn't mean he agreed with me all the time, but he'd listen to my concerns, and then we'd have a dialogue based on my knowledge of my body. And I always knew that he respected that he wasn't intimidated by it. It didn't mean he was less of a doctor. It meant that he could have a working relationship with me. Now, granted, he did know that I was a service manager in the NHS, because he'd been on the phone to me in my job before. So he probably thought, well, she does know her stuff. But I think he was like that with everyone. And we got so much more out of it, and things done so much better out of it. And he'd say to me, oh, be careful, don't do this and this. And I'd say, thank you. And I'd say, oh, by the way, when this has happened before, this has happened. And he'd go, oh, thank you for telling me, and that's how it should be. It doesn't mean the doctor knows less. At the end of the day, medicine is not an exact science. If you've only got to look at skincare, and with skincare that different products work differently on different skin, because we're all individual. And it's the same with everything else. Women's complaints are often discounted by MDs. This is changing slowly with the growing number of female doctors. However, some of my least empathetic doctors have been women. Well, a good example, a woman doctor that saw Jack when he went with his allergy. And he said his throat was closing up and getting tickly when he ate cucumbers. And because it's a bit of a weird allergy, her reply was, do you think it's because he just doesn't like eating cucumbers? And I thought, Jack would just say, Mum, I don't like cucumbers. He wouldn't invent an allergy just to avoid eating cucumbers, because I'm not going to force him to eat something he doesn't like. It was just so bizarre. And then he went and had his skin test, and they told me to bring a cucumber in. They did the prick test, put the cucumber there, and whoosh, out it came. Great big wheal on his skin. So, yeah, he must have sat there poking it, because he doesn't want to eat cucumbers ever. Except he didn't leave my sight. So he just said to his skin, just come up in a wheel, because I don't want to ever eat cucumber salad again. Oh, dear. I'm just putting on, by the way, Airbrush Bronzer, shade 1. And it's just so pathetic, isn't it? Do you think it's because he doesn't like cucumber? Well, I'm sorry, but if my throat started to swell up and tickle when I ate cucumber, I wouldn't like it either. Oh, yeah, when's Tria getting married? Come on, we need cheering up. Enough of my moaning. Tria, when's the date? When's the date? I'm just putting shade 3 now of my airbrush. 19th of September. Oh, I hope it's a lovely day for you. At 10:30 German time. We'll have to do a live. We'll have to do a live if we can on the 19th. Is that Saturday? I'm just going to put some of my very old, very old highlighter on from Victoria Beckham Estee Lauder, because it's still my favourite and it hasn't gone off. Oh, Stacey, that's awful. So Stacey's had women's problems that have been ignored for years. And this is the thing, it's such short-sighted, because if you ignore something, it's not going to go away. I heard a really good doctor the other day talking about COVID. And he said, you know, if you ignore COVID, it's not going to go away. He said, actually, it's the opposite. He said, COVID's going to thrive when we start to ignore it. And it's so true. Bollywood-inspired makeup. Do you know what? I'd love to do that, actually. And my sister gave me some bindies that she'd got from Amazon. So I could do that one day. I just pulled out some Pat McGrath. I'm going to use her Divine Rose 2 today. I'm just enjoying chatting to you all. I loved the comments about that brow product. It is very sheer, isn't it? Oh, I knew you'd like it. Mimi. The idea of Bollywood. Right, I am using Divine Rose 2. It's because my hair's all back as well in a turban, isn't it? I'm having my hair cut in a week on Tuesday. I've told them, lop it all off. I want to get the condition back in it. I'm going to have a really short pixie cut and have it dyed one colour all over. Just to get the... I do like my low lights, but I just think at the moment I just want to get as short... If you can't go too short if you're having low lights, because you end up looking like a hedgehog. And I just want to get as much hair off as possible, get really short kind of pixie cut, and then get the condition back in it. I like that primer. It's definitely nice. It's a Body Shop one. Body Shop Vitamin C Skin Reviver Instant Smoother with Vitamin C Rich Camu from the Amazonian rainforest. Glow boosting finisher. Perfect base for makeup. Right, let's put a bit of something on. I'm going to put this on to prime my lids. Oh, that's right. This is the one that looks like a very neutral shade until you actually put it on your eyes, and then it looks pink. Doesn't look anything like that in the pan. Look. Bizarre. So what's this? Right, what we're looking at, Bollywood. Saw your review and bought one afterwards. Infranude, stayed on all day. Can I go back to my doctor in London? I wish I could, but you have to go where you live and it just gets complicated. I'd love to, though. Ooh, colitis on your lips. I've not heard of that. And that's unusual for me, because I've normally heard of everything medically Latin. What is colitis? Obviously something to do with the lips. Inflammation, is it, of the lips? Is kale actually Latin for lips? Right, I'm going to go in with this matte shade, the sort of peachy pink. I love that you all chat amongst yourselves. I love my little community. And you're so supportive to one another. Doing offer codes and inflammation and swollen lips. Well, if it doesn't go down, you can just make the most of them. Just do nothing to them until the day, and then put lipstick on, and it'll look like you've got really pouty lips on your wedding day. Keep them makeup free, and then you can go down the aisle like that. You know what they say, if life gives you lemons, make lemonade. Or the other one is make gin and tonic. That's what I feel like making right now. Gin and tonic. Now, what shall I put on? What's this one like? Ooh, no, I don't like the... I'm not sure about the green in that. Oh, go on, I'll do it. Why not? This is that weird monotone, the duochromed one, that when you turn round it looks green, but it's sort of pink, but green when you turn round. So clever. Look. Look, looks green, and it's not green, it's pink. It's a bit alien-like, but it's fun. Do you know what? They don't excite me either, Rebecca. You know why? I often think people are getting rid of things that, or they're trying to sell things that are not selling well. So they'll put little samples in of stuff that's not selling very well to try and get people to buy the full sizes. They always end up being a bit disappointing. It's really weird. I don't know whether I like that shade or not. I like that it's a bit strange. It's a bit unusual, but I'm not sure. I'm going to put a bit of this very light one on in the middle. One of the toppers at the end. One of the sparkly toppers. Oh, is this the Charlotte one? She bought out her advent calendar already. You all seem to be so much more on the ball than me. I'm going to put a little bit of this in the socket as well. I don't know whether I like this one as much as the first one, you know. I want a little pencil brush. Let me put this bright cerise pink underneath. Yeah, by the way, I've filmed part 2. I won't do a spoiler alert, but I did film part 2 after my live of the pillow talk, after I did it without doing the upper waterline. But I'm not going to give anything away. I'll put that out either today or tomorrow. And also, I've got a new subscription box to film. I haven't opened it yet, so I'm going to film that. Ah, yeah, John Lewis Advent Calendar's quite good, especially when they reduce it. Did I buy the MAC lipsticks? I bought one of them. I didn't buy Nikki's one because I thought it looked a little bit too pale for me. But I have ordered the Sam Chapman one, her Perfect Red or whatever, because it looks like a nice pinky red. So yeah, thank you for telling me about that, Stacey. So yeah, Sam and Nikki have brought out some lipsticks with MAC, just 2. So Nikki's bought out one that's sort of quite nude, and Sam has bought out one that's sort of a pinky red, a fuchsia red. You got, oh, it's darker than Dance Floor Princess, is it? Well, I just thought I'll try the red. There was something, I didn't warm to the other one. And I thought, well, you know, I've got enough lipsticks, but I definitely wanted to try the red one. Yeah, or there's always a danger with those kind of lipsticks on our skin tone, Tria, that it would just make us look like a corpse. So it's all right if you can try and store. Sometimes those kind of nude lips have got enough peach in them that they don't. But I think Nikki's got quite a coolish skin tone. So I thought it was a bit risky. Still not sure if I like that green shift. What do you think? It's crazy, but I'm not sure I like it. Does anyone else use this shade a lot? It's in the second Pat McGrath palette. It's pink, but when you turn your eyes, it looks green. Thank you. Thank you, Helena. It's not showing up much on camera. Let me come in close. Can you see as I turn, it looks green? Then when I turn that way, it's actually pink. So as the light hits it from different angles, it goes from green to pink. Now I love the goldy pink one that she does in the other palette. I absolutely adore that, but I'm not sure about pink that turns green. You like it? It is unusual, definitely, no doubt about that. And I love the fact that when you turn, it changes colour. Let's put a bit of Pillow Talk on. This is definitely better when I don't tight line with it, although it's still not the best at flaking. There you go, I've given you a bit of a spoiler alert. But I don't tight line with it now. But I still like the curl that it gives. The thing about mascaras as well is you've only got to look at... I was looking at MAC mascaras. When I bought the lipstick, I thought, I wonder if they've got a curling one that's good, that they've bought in to replace Upward Lash. And I looked at them all, and I decided not to go for one. I've got in Extreme Dimension, which is okay. But I'm always comparing it against Upward Lash, which I loved, and they discontinued. And you've only got to look at the reviews, and you'll see this is the best mascara I've ever used. Don't ever stop making it. To this is the worst mascara in the world. And you realise that views can differ so differently with a mascara, depending on what type of lashes you have. and whether or not, you know, your mascara tends to smudge or not. And some were saying I had panda eyes, and others were saying it didn't smudge at all. And I think MAC reviews tend to be quite reliable. They don't tend to put in fake reviews, I don't think. Amazon are the worst for fake reviews. I was looking for something to relieve my foot the other day, and I got so annoyed with Amazon. Really annoyed, because I was desperate for something to give me relief. And I was looking up this pressure sock that's supposed to take the thing off your heel, and people were giving it 5 stars, saying this is so good, it was such a relief to wear, blah, blah, blah. But if you then click on the reviewer and you go to the reviewer, you'll see they've done like 1,200 reviews in the last year. And if you were to believe all of them, even though they say verified purchases, they've bought about 40 items a day, and they've given them all 5 stars. And I wanted to write under there, do you know what? People are desperate to find solutions here and are in pain. And your fake reviews really get on my nerves. And I hope one day you have foot pain and all you've got to rely on are these fake reviews that you put up here. You know, and I don't hope anyone ever has foot pain, but it just got me in that mood. So really, whenever you're checking an Amazon review, always click on the reviewer and it will take you to their profile and it will show you how many reviews they've done. And if it's over 200, you can just see, it will say, and some people, like, I saw one once and it was for headphones. And this person, and they were all verified reviews. I don't know how they managed to verify them. But this person had bought 20 sets of headphones in a week, said they were all the best headphones that they'd ever used. One pair they bought for their son, one for their daughter, one for their aunt, one for their grandmother, one for their uncle, one for their son-in-law, and they were all the best ones they'd ever used. I want to try that Chanel lipstick now. I've seen Rebecca's review. Do you know what? I think the thing that makes the biggest difference, Jocelyn, with mascaras is the brush. At the end of the day, there's only so many ingredients you can put in a mascara. I think it's the brush that makes the biggest difference. The shape of the brush. I think if you want volume, you're probably better with a brush. And if you want lift, you're probably better with a plastic one. And this one I like because you can turn it like a heated eyelash curler, like that, you see? You turn it and push the lash up as though you're using a heated eyelash curler. And look at that, it's touching up there. And I like it because it stays put. When I say it stays put, it does smudge. But I like that the curl stays put. Because some other ones that I've tried, and Legendary Lashes is like this. When you first put it on, it really lifts your lashes, but within an hour, they're straight again. Whereas this one does tend to keep its curl. But I wouldn't tight line with it, because you'll end up with a mess under your eyes. So you can really push them up. You like Legendary Lashes. It's very lengthening, Legendary Lashes. And I like it when I first apply it. Legendary Lashes. But it doesn't keep the curl enough for me. I think this one is probably, Pillow Talk's probably my favourite. But it's still flakes. Let's use this lip liner again. But I'm going to use a different lipstick. to the one I used last week on my live. I'm going to use Soft Core because I didn't use that one last week. Yeah, and the application, the way that you turn the brush, and yeah. So this lip liner is Pat McGrath, and it's called, I like this one, it's called Suburbia. Although it gets blunt really quickly because they're very soft. Only thing about their lip liners. I think it was Rebecca that said they're like a lipstick in a pencil. That is the best description. They are really like a lipstick in a pencil. Did you see my message about... Yes, I did see it. I've already got 1980 though, and I've got loads left, but that was a good bargain. This is 1980. So Stacey said this one was reduced to £15. It is a beautiful one. This is 1980. Beautiful fuchsia. That would go really well with Velvet Underground. And it would go really well with... I got it to go with this lipstick originally. I know I got that pink one that's very like Velvet Underground, but I got it to go with Deep Orchid, which is this one. I might put this on. I was going to put on a lighter pink. Let me show you this on my hand. I love these colours. That's Deep Orchid. Beautiful, that. Tria, that would look nice on you. I can see that on Tria. I'm not saying it wouldn't look nice on everyone else, but I can see that on Tria. And you love that pink top. Do you know what? I forgot. I think this was New Look. Thank you. So that's Deep Orchid, but I was going to put on a lighter one. I'll show you the lighter one and you can decide which lipstick I'm going to put on. So I was going to put this one on. Thank you. Right, which lipstick do you want me to put on? The darker one or the lighter one? Vote now. A blind test of high-end mascaras. Right, we've got darker one, lighter, lighter. 2 votes for light, 1 vote for dark. 2 votes for dark, 2 votes for light. 3, 4. Oh, dark has won it. Got 3 more votes for dark. Oh, 4 dark. Combination. All right. I'll tell you what I'll do. If I've got a wipe somewhere. No, I'll have to do the darker one. I'll do the lighter one another time. The lighter one is lovely. But I'll do the darker one. All right, I'll put the lighter one on my top lip. What shade is the lighter one? Soft Core. So that's a darker one. So rich, this colour. I love it. And then here is Soft Core on my upper lip. I could start a new trend, couldn't I? It's because this one is reflecting on that one. They look the same. There you go. It does look like an Asian look, doesn't it? I tell you what I can do. Put that in the middle. And the darker one on the outside. Ali, probably you don't know her, but Priyanka Chopra often does looks like this. The wine purpley looks. I think I have seen her. Nicole, I did that. I didn't see your message when I did that, but that's exactly what I did. See, the compromise to do an ombre. Now let's put some blush on. Let's put some blush on. Do you know what? The only one I've got around me, I think, right now is... Oh, I've got my Natasha Denona one. I don't think Walk of Shame would go with this. The only one I had is Walk of Shame, but I think this one will. This one is. My Natasha Denona one. I'll just take a bit of both. Now, I loved, Rebecca, I loved your tip. You got it from someone else, I know, and I can't remember who. But Rebecca said that when you're putting your blusher on, smile, but with your mouth closed, not like that. It's a really good tip. You know me, I can't keep my mouth closed, though. It's a really good tip. It's keeping your mouth closed that stops it dropping. I love this light one as a topping. It looks nothing, but when you put it over the other one, it really brings it to light. And that is me. Now, in case you haven't seen my community post, I found Tranexamic Acid Serum to use in the day. And guess what, ladies? It's £8.99. So I can't wait to try it. I ordered some, of course. And if you're in the UK, it's you can get it in Superdrug, £8.99. And the main ingredients is tranexamic acid. I checked the ingredients. It's not the last ingredient in a set of all sorts of rubbish. It's in the first two, I think. So tranexamic acid serum, and they have an offer on at the moment. Buy one, get one half price. So you can get two of them for just under £13.50. If you want the link, it's in my community post this morning. Tranexamic acid at Superdrug. So I can't wait, because I've been using tranexamic acid at night for the last 2 days, and it's really brought my skin alive. And I know I got a few comments yesterday about my skin, and I do feel quite confident about my skin at the moment, but it's definitely, that is the tranexamic acid by the Inky List. So I thought I want something to use in the day, because this is an overnight treatment, and sometimes I want to use a moisturizer at night and you can't with that one. So I thought I must see if there's a serum, and luckily I found one that was really, really affordable, but also had a large amount of tranexamic in it. And I'm gonna sneeze. I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me. Excuse me. I was using the SkinCeuticals as well. I keep thinking I'm going to sneeze, and then I stop. Do you know what? If only I could find those bindies that my sister, I'm sure they're out here somewhere. I'm going to sneeze again. Something has definitely got under my skin, up my nose and under my skin. They were here. They were sitting here for me to show you all. I could put one on. I tell you what, I'll find it when I come off, and I'll put one on, and I'll do a photograph. And the only thing is, I think you need to have a bit more of a black eyeliner. I didn't put any eyeliner. I'll put some black eyeliner on, and I'll put the bindi on, and I'll take a picture and I'll put it on the thumbnail of this video, and also on Instagram for you all. And I'll do a proper, that'll make it look, and I haven't done my brows either, so I'll just complete the look. Brows, some black eyeliner, and a little jewel in the centre of my head. Thank you so much, and thank you all for cheering me up and letting me have a rant. I so needed to have a rant, and you're all so supportive. Oh, you just started the Tranexamic Acid. And how did you get on? Did you notice anything the next morning? Nicole? Gesundheit, yes. Bushra, no. Can it be used in the day? Bushra, it's called an overnight treatment that you put on and you wash off in the morning. But I was going to try putting some into my skincare. And I don't see why you couldn't, because if you can buy a serum with tranexamic acid in it to use in the day, then why can't you put a bit of the overnight treatment in? I don't see why not. I just put a couple of drops in your moisturizer if you're going to do that. But stay tuned, because as I said, once this other serum comes from Superdrug, I can't wait to tell you about it. But yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, it's a kind of gel that you put on your face, a layer of it on your face, and you let it sink in overnight, and then you wash it off in the morning. So if you can wear it overnight, then why can't you wear it in the day? And it doesn't make you more sensitive to sun. It's not like some of the other things that they say, be careful, and you know, you need to make sure that you use extra sunscreen, although I still think you should use sunscreen. It doesn't make you more sensitive to sunlight. Yes, it helped my dark spots. It's not really done anything. Do you have dark spots, Lisa? Oh, love you, love you, love you. I love you too, Terry. Your skin was bright and dewy. Yeah, melasma. Oh, and also, don't forget, the thing about melasma, again, there's so many different causes of melasma. A lot of the time, you'll see a lot of products for melasma say for oily skin, because one of the causes of melasma is acne scarring. I've never had acne in my life. And yes, as a teenager, I had a very oily T-zone and a nose, but otherwise, I've never had spots. So, so sometimes when they're talking about dark spots, they're talking about scarring from spots that you've had that have become brown, and they literally brown pimple spots. And then you get there's all sorts of causes, and I would suggest if you want to learn a bit more about it, I'm not a skincare specialist, but Dr. Sam Bunting is on YouTube. She does a lot of skincare videos, and she talks about the different causes of hyperpigmentation. And I think it really depends on what your cause is. Now, mine actually came to the fore when I was pregnant with my son, and it got worse afterwards. It never went back, and then it's getting worse now during the menopause. So I know mine is hormonal, but not everyone's, and some people get it from being on the pill. Not, and I'm on the pill as well, so it might actually calm down when I actually stop, and can't stop yet because I'm not completely through the menopause. But so there's a hormonal cause, and there is causes such as acne, and other causes of brown spots. And I think different causes need different treatments, and it's very complicated. And as I say, I'm not a specialist, but I would highly recommend, if you look up Dr. Sam Bunting, SAMBUNTING, and you look up Dr. Sam Bunting, hyperpigmentation, she's got a couple of videos all about the different causes of hyperpigmentation and what you can do to help it. And it's really informative. I'd really recommend watching her. And she talks about different sunscreens as well. For example, if you've got melasma, which is basically, and your melanin's going nuts, you actually should use a zinc oxide sunscreen. It's actually better to use a zinc oxide one, although it can leave you with a white cast. It's stuff like that. So she's really good at being able to not just explain things and what you need, but also what is going on in your skin and why, and to help you picture why certain things help and certain things don't. Anyway, love you all. I'm going to go to love you. See you soon, and I'll put that photo up in a short while. Okay, bye-bye. Mwah.